I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I move that we accept the agenda as accepted, but maybe, do we need any rearrangement of order? For certain? I guess not.
Do we need anything to add? No? Okay. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Call for a motion to approve the May 12th, 2014 minutes.
I move we accept the May minutes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Call for a motion to approve the June 1st, 2014 Treasurer's Report and approve the vouchers and pay the bills.
Was there any you wanted to talk about?
Well, I think you saw the treasurer's report. The total in all funds was $254,300, and the Vista bill continues to go down. This is the time of year that it goes down. And wanted to point out that we did pay almost $3,000 for repairs at the lagoons. We needed a new chlorine pump and repairs by Tom Parkman to the effluent unit that went out. And that's all. I think on the vouchers paid and pending, that'd be under Tom Parkman, and USA Blue Book is the company that we get our chlorine pumps from.
Okay, I move we accept the treasurer's report and pay our bills.
All in favor? Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Report, council. Bill.
Yes, we had a discussion last week on roof repair, particularly in the fireman's room. I checked around. I called my favorite local hardware, Ziggy's and Early Bird, and asked their opinions of small independent roofers.
She's got that on the agenda.
Oh, it's on the agenda? Okay, but if... Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. I'll
That's
finish
okay,
later.
but she's left your room to talk about it.
No, I could wait till later. We got other business we didn't get on the road. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Have anything else?
No, not really. Not at this time. Shebang, it's going to be sunny.
Yes, I would like to ask about, we signed the thing last week, and I should have asked, is it all right to have the dessert bar here in the City Hall like we have had the other years?
Isn't that part of shebang?
Well, I didn't know if I needed a consensus. Everybody's
Yeah,
okay?
that's fine with me, yeah.
It's fine with me.
And then,
Consensus.
I don't know anything about this, but when I was reading this, there is two places, Riggins Community Center for renovation, and there's several for wastewater upgrade.
Right. And
So we need,
Kendrick got money this last year for I don't know, like 300, 400,000. And Winchester got money, so yeah, I know it's a.
if we could find
We need
somebody,
something.
Hendrick got
because you
money.
said that
I know
person
the
you
clerk.
got.
She's not qualified.
Okay.
Sorry.
Who's not qualified?
He thought he knew somebody might do grants.
Oh, anybody knows anybody that does grants in town?
We need to do something about the
We do.
lagoon because it's going to go. and then we're really going to be in trouble. So we need to look into it. I agree. Look into this.
Okay, we'll get on it.
On your list.
Better.
It is.
Yeah, just as a recommendation on that issue, you might check with some of the people that applied for the city clerk job and see if they have knowledge of writing grants.
That's an idea.
Okay.
You know, just
Well, you would know from.
I can't remember
Interview
when we were,
process.
when we were
Yeah.
interviewing if we.
I don't recall.
I don't recall anybody
Having that
mentioning that on their app.
might be an unseen source. You can always ask them if they know somebody.
Inquire with AIC, see if they have someone that
Could
can
assist small
offer
cities.
assistance on that.
Looks like they got every city around here just about.
Well, everybody's members of it.
Why don't you check with them cities and see who's writing their grants? Maybe it's one person.
Yeah, was he living down now?
Anything from the zoning department? Planning and zoning?
Other than there, what on the agenda?
I think we got something later.
Yeah, she says no planning and zoning.
No planning on zoning, no, nothing to report there. But we do have a city clerk report, if you're ready for it. City clerk? Okay. I wanted you to know that our building inspector, Jim Yeoman, met with the Tribal Executive Committee in May regarding how they wanted to handle tribal members building in cities on the reservation. He's been having issues in other cities similar to ours, and is hopeful the Executive Committee will determine a plan for working with building inspectors in cities on the reservation. So as he shares what he hears back from them, I'll share it with the council.
What were the issues that he was having?
Basically, tribal members don't want to get building permits in cities on the reservation because they're on the reservation.
That was the only issues he was having?
Yeah,
About
that's
the other
mainly, and
places
then
too?
it just, the issue is that, and then what they're doing with their places aren't following the codes of the cities that they're doing the work in. And so he met with the Tribal Executive Committee and brought his concerns to them for safety is the main issue. And then last month I misspoke on the Saddle Club occupancy license that Jim Yeoman's going to be giving them. We had thought it was for one day, but to keep their liquor license, they have to have it be 180 days from the date of the fire. And so there's approximately 120 days left on that. And Jim Yeoman said he's going to be reviewing the plans here this week and giving them the occupancy for that amount of time. That'll allow them to be open on the planned date of Shebang Days and continue business while they're doing the repairs and getting new restrooms built, so that they can continue business and maintain their license.
So have they got re-inspected after?
Did we see,
That will be this week by our building inspector.
So they
And there
can't,
was-
they can't issue anything until it's been re-inspected?
The building inspector is the one that issues occupancy, and
Right.
he's the one I'm
Okay.
working with, and he's working with them.
Okay.
and there was a structural engineer that looked at that place to make sure that it was,
And there'll be
Okay.
architectural plans, they're being drawn and delivered. And since the last council meeting, City Hall has received requests for public records from people. The requests were copies of the council meeting minutes from current and past meetings, audio of council meetings, and just abatement bids. And then you saw in the your council packet the very gracious thank you letter from Prairie River Library District. The mayor and the city clerk had a meeting with Herman Smith regarding maintenance matters. And then also I was asked at the last meeting to check on First Step, and I think you read in the council packet. It was explained to me that We do have free internet from the tribal service. That was part of the arrangement for putting up the tower. But we've kept our email provider, and that's First Step. And it's a minimal monthly fee, and it basically keeps the email address that we have and gives our computer extra virus protection with this service. It blocks all viruses and quarantines them. And if we were to change, then the city would have to change our email address, which we've had for a long time, and then you'd have to change letterhead, business cards, and you'd have to notify everyone that you're doing email correspondence with. So it seemed like for the minimal cost for First Step, it was worth it to keep the plan.
Back to the other one, what was discussed between you, Mayor, and Herman?
We don't discuss that in a public meeting.
So why do you bring it up there?
Yeah. So anyway, the audit status that I wanted to report tonight is that we received, I received training from Sharon to complete the adjusting journal entries for fiscal year 2008 and 2009, which is what the auditor said needed to be done. And she also trained me on a couple schedules that the auditor will want when he comes out. I've completed all the adjusting journal entries this month, and we received the new engagement letter from President Gage today for the fiscal year 2010 and fiscal year 2011. So the letter needs to be signed by the mayor and returned, and as I said, I just received it today.
That's
duplicate.
10-11.
It's for 10/11, and they're duplicate copies if anyone wants to review it before the mayor signs. Catherine, you can put it up on the table. And
Is there any chance of doing 3 at a time to finish the 12th, or what would that be, 12?
we have 12 and 13, and then when we finish the
Oh, we
fiscal
just
year
have 12.
14.
Okay, this
And
is-
then we finish fiscal year that we're in, and that's the one we need by March 2015.
Depends on how fast.
Good job.
Yeah, and then it's the cost. I know we have budgeted for legal and audits in the same budget line, and to do the 2 years, the fee will not exceed $12,625. And so
2 years, I'm sorry?
2 years, $12,625. It won't exceed that. The audit information will need to be ready by July 1st, so after the letter is signed, we'll be busy complying with it. We should get a letter, as I'm familiar with the way audits go, get a letter from them stating what they want to have gathered for when they come out to review the records. And we'll work on getting that done, because if you don't have it by the due date, and I'm not sure if this is how they have done it in the past, but if it's not ready by July 1st, then the quoted price increases by 1% per month. And the whole goal, though, is to get these audits done, so that'll again remain our number one priority, as it has been this past month,
I
to
thought
get
we
that
just put
information.
5 in a year.
Pardon?
I thought we just budgeted 5 a year, but of course
5.
that was that many years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's about 6
So-
a year now. Yeah.
So as we're working, from what I saw on the budget line, there wasn't, 5 years worth of budget money there. And as I work on the budget, preparing the budget, I will be aware of that item and what we
No,
need.
because we probably didn't start it till we all started. Till we realized that they weren't.
Right,
And
weren't
so there
done.
wasn't anything, sure, and other budgets, there wasn't anything about it.
Well, there is money, and my read of it for what we have in the current year. And if we haven't used the others, maybe we can go back and use that money. But as I say, I've been working on the audit. The next thing is getting into the budget while I work on the audit. Okay, and then on the dust abatement date was set with Roadwise, and the date is June 27th. They did not have a date available in the first week of July as had been requested. The earliest in July would have been July 21st. And so the 27th is like 5 days before the first week of July. And our office will be sending out notices informing of the date and asking for vehicles to be moved, somewhat as we did with the sweeping that we did last week in town. And then also I wanted you to know...
Back to the dust abatement thing. if we haven't done anything with the roads to maintain them, are we still going to go through with having dust abatement put on? Because we haven't touched the roads.
No, the roads were worked on. They were worked on earlier in the year. And if you have a road that you think, as we said a month ago at the last council meeting, if anyone has
I'll
a
give you 5
road
roads.
that they think hasn't been worked on, call the office. We'll write them down and we'll work on those.
But it needs
I
to be
would
done
like it.
before we do dust abatement.
Correct.
Otherwise, it's a waste of money.
And then also, if the bidders were notified, Lyman made a public records request for the bids from all bidders, and I supplied that information. And then I received an email that they are curious as to why they had the lowest bid, but did not get the bid. I checked with our city attorney, and he said basically since the amount was not high enough to fall within a public bid, there's little that the council really needs to tell that company. It's up to the council how they'd like to handle that request. Because pretty much it's, you can let them know how you arrived at the answer, or you can let them know that vague information, because basically since the decision is already made, they don't really need to explain their decision.
I think we should give them the information of how they came up with the bid. Personally. Keep it open. Hide nothing.
So basically, when the bid was talked about and discussed, he's going by money, but the council explored other areas besides just financial money for their response. So if you let me know how you would like it to be responded to, I can do that.
Are you going to be talking to him soon?
Talking
To
to
the Augusta,
The person
regular
with-
one? I'm just curious, since they do a double load, they got to be using more gallons than the
Than the other
6,000.
well, no, that's what they use for their double load. Yeah. So, but the question on the table is how you would like to respond to the bid.
Is there a law that says we have to take the less bid?
No.
We didn't explore it all anyway.
That pursuant to the Idaho Code Section 672803, the City Council determined that it was in the best interest of the city to acquire dust abatement as previously decided, and that you're not revisiting the issue because it was voted on.
Might next year think about it.
Right, it can be revisited then.
That's going to be enough for them. I mean,
That
we
satis-
said because we
that
went with
satisfy
them,
the
we've been
law.
with them before. And
Been with them for 7-10 years now.
Which isn't the reason to go with them, because I still say we got the wrong stuff, but hey, that's just me.
But they gave us a flat bid.
We
The
didn't
other one
explore,
gave
we
us,
didn't explore how to give them,
but we did it for 2 months. We talked about dust abatement.
and nothing ever
months.
happened about it either.
3 months?
3 months.
Three
It
months.
was on
nothing
the
happened
agenda
about
for
it.
3 months.
Nothing happened. You
Well-
guys just went with whatever was the same as
Little
was
bitter.
before and call it good. Nothing was explored.
Would you like me to continue my report?
Yes.
Because I'm almost done. It's a little
Oh,
lengthy
please.
because after I had my report last Thursday, things have come up since then. And I wanted to inform you that the City Hall air conditioner is broken. Dell's came out Thursday to repair it. However, it's a sealed unit, and Dell's does not work on sealed units. We were told that it was either a low-capacity compressor or a freon leak, and it was recommended that we call a heating and air conditioning company in Lewiston to try to find someone who may work on a sealed unit. And Carol and I will be doing this, but we would need the council approval for a repair or replacement if we can't find anyone that would work on a sealed unit. We haven't had it very long. I haven't had time preparing for the council meeting to do the research on exactly the date, but I think the first one was in 2010 it broke, and then we got this unit. So it's maybe we've had it maybe 3 years. And I'm checking it to see if indeed it was from Dell's or another company. And as I said, the other clerk has all that background right in her head, but she's been out of town, so I've been doing a bit of searching, and we'll check further this week.
Just a comment, if you need a small air conditioner, I can loan one. I got a couple extra at the apartments to put in the window. It gets warm. Then we can just stick it in the window for till you figure something out.
Yeah, and it's small. I was looking at a small one, and it was an inch and 3/4 too big. It's a very narrow window setup we have in there, and I'm not.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll see how we go, and if the council wants City Hall to use that type, because it doesn't make the office as secure when you put those.
Well, you just
type
take
in.
it out at night. It's light little light. Unplug it and out the window. A piece of foam. I do it all the time.
Okay.
Unless you want to sweat.
We see Carol works in the morning. She's the one with the muscles. Okay. Budget. I wanted to bring up on the budget that it's come to my attention that we need to hold a budget workshop in July to go over the prospective budget for fiscal year 2015, in addition to the budget meeting to approve it in August. And I would suggest a Thursday evening, and our next council meeting in July. You usually have that meeting, the council prior has had it like around the 18th or 19th, but that's the week of our council meeting, and that'd be 2 meetings in 1 week, so I was going to suggest perhaps July 24th at 6 o'clock p.m. And I wanted to see if that worked with the council.
24th doesn't with me. I'm gone. I can tell you that right now. Kids coming back from New York City, so
So you're not available on the 24th?
no.
The whole week or just that day?
Almost the whole week, 4 days.
June.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
No, we're in
Saturday.
July.
July.
The Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I'm in Oregon.
2 nights.
You're in Oregon?
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I got my nephew's wedding. So we'll figure it out.
That's that same week?
This week, I
Sunday
guess,
the
is
20th.
out. We're publishing the
First,
7th and the 14th, and we have our other meeting on the 21st. And we'll pass that around.
So August is the 21st.
August is the 21st that we set,
Okay.
and
So
that
we
gives us
need-
2 weeks to publish the 7th. So that's why I was suggesting that, because it gave us a week to, get it ready.
2 meetings in a week doesn't bother me.
Don't bother me a bit.
No, can we do 2? Can we do the,
Maybe you won't be there yet.
you want it Wednesday or Thursday, the 16th or the 17th?
Up to the council what works best for them.
Second Monday is a council
Farther
meeting.
apart, Monday and Thursday.
This one.
Monday and Thursday sounds good to me. If that's what you like, Joanne.
That'll work.
Works with me.
Yeah, because you'll be in town. Bill, will you be around?
And he's not leaving the weekend, he said.
Until the weekend,
Right.
like the
Okay.
Saturday.
That 27th.
So we're gonna, what
So
day?
what date is that?
17th.
At 6 o'clock p.m.?
17.
Is that okay with?
I think so.
Well, 6:10. I need 6:10, not 6. I don't close till 6.
Okay, or 6:30.
6:10. 6:10. It only doesn't take just a couple minutes. Close the doors.
Okay. 17th, 6:10.
Okay.
And that's the end of my report. I'm sorry it was a bit lengthy, and
Good job.
thank you.
Well, it
And
also
everybody
said, I
get your
don't,
dates written down.
that they had, Roadwise had a full warranty and the other one only had
A partial.
warranty. That might have been one of our reasons, right?
I think it was.
Well, the new one had the full.
No. Oh, Roadwise, who we went with,
It's the old company.
Oh.
full warranty from Roadwise and limited warranty from them.
Oh.
6:10 on the 17th.
Joanne?
Have we ever thanked Walpole for bringing those things in?
I was going to
Spring and
thank him
fall.
when I pay the invoice. Thank you. This is what the flag looks like. I kept it in the bag. This was donated to the City of Culdesac from Charlie Driver, kind of in time for the Flags, Freedom and Friends event.
what?
And Shebang basting flags.
Oh,
And she had suggested that maybe we could hang it from our pole out here, and I was kind of looking at it, and it's kind of off from where the event was. She also suggested maybe at the memorial below the American flag. So I talked to Paula of the Gen community and asked what she thought, and she thought that would be great. So I wanted to, since it was brought to City Hall, I wanted to see if the council wanted to pass it on to the Gen community to have it at the memorial.
Yeah, it says
think it's a
support
good
our
idea.
troops flag.
That's what it says? It doesn't say
Right.
cul-de-sac?
this is the red
Yep.
one then. No, it's not. It's this
Support
one.
our troops.
Sure, I think that
I
sounds
think that's a good
consensus
spot
for
to
me.
put it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Memorial, yeah.
Thank you.
She just donated it?
Yes, it was a donation to the city. That was nice, and I'll give her a thank you note.
I lost my place.
We're down here to maintenance. City clerk, maintenance. Is that what it says there? Yeah, oh, city clerk, that's miscellaneous information. Where?
Oh, you went right here.
Maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance.
I have the maintenance report to present. We had a clean water sample for May, and Herman and Jason have been taking training, lots of training and studying for the wastewater collections test that's on June 11th. This was scheduled in February, and they only have those tests like once or twice a year. And of course in February when we were doing the scheduling of this, we weren't thinking about shebang days, but they have been studious in getting the extra work that involves in coming up to the festival and studying and getting ready for the test on June 11th. And the sand filters were not draining down at the lagoon, so they rototilled both sand filters, and they were still not draining right, so they dug up the drain pipe and disassembled the gate valve and found it full of sediment after 10 years of use. And they were able to flush it down to the effluent weir, and there they had to climb in and shovel it out. They removed 2 Bobcat buckets full, and now the north sand filter is working okay. And they found the clean out for the south sand filter, and now they're planning to finish that off by taking a fire truck down and seeing if they can flush down to the weir on it and get it shoveled out. So they've been doing quite a bit of work trying to get the sand filters to drain. They found a water leak was found up on Ponderosa Loop, and they got Willis out, and through digging they and having everything shut off with the neighbors nearby, they found a 1-inch poly pipe with a hole, and they cut it out and repaired it with brass fittings. So that's another water leak that has
They say
been
who or how
found
they
and
found that
solved.
one, by chance? Did you luck upon it, or?
That was just through the work that they've been doing on finding leaks. You have, and then when we get to streetlights, I have some information to give there. And of course, they were out delivering the street sweeping notices for the sweeping that we did. And they plan on putting tailings on the levee. They turned up the runtime on the sprinkler system So it runs a little bit longer each early morning hour at each of the 6 stations to green up the lawn. And they had a late start on the park lawn because of the backflow preventer and then a control valve being bad, and they had to do repairs before they could get the sprinkler system going. And they'll be shutting the system off for the Thursday morning and then mowing the park that day and weed eating around things so it's closer to the event and will look good at the park. And in reading water meters, they found 2 broken freeze plats, and both on the meters that were shut-off meters. And again, they've been weed eating around town. They've weed eated some abandoned properties for fire protection in town because the grass has been getting to 5 or 6 feet tall, so they've been doing that just for fire protection for our city. They mowed the cemetery, and it took 2 of them 2 days at 3 hours each day, and then the prison crew came out and did the finish-up work up at the cemetery. So it was all nice and mowed and looked really great for Memorial Day. And they burned the brush pile May 14th, and then it burned by itself or with help, not sure.
But got any clue out.
Nothing on the camera?
Nothing on the camera that I know. No. And then he wants to assure that they're trying to get everything mowed and weed eated before Shebang Day, so everything looks tip-top.
I just thought it might be good to coordinate with the 4-H group because they took the cemetery on as their social project. And they went
That's you guys, isn't it? It's not us. Is it?
No,
Jim
Community.
Oh, it's not Jim?
Well, we pay half of the prisoner thing every year when we won't go through.
The city pays half for it.
Anyway, what happens, the kids went up there to do the cemetery and it was done, so you guys could have stalled a little bit and had the kids do it.
Well, yeah, the gym
Because we
community
did all the brush cutting and
always
all that
works.
stuff.
So that's good for the 4-H to know that the city and the gym community, they strive to get it done before Memorial Day, and it was done 3 days before, so, we waited. It was pretty much to the last.
I think we just get that, we need to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got rained out.
Yeah, we had no
On our
idea, and I don't
available time,
think
so-
the gym community knew. That would be
I
good.
could work at a lot of projects like that, as well as the cemetery too. So, and we can coordinate between whoever, the city or the gym community, because they do that project every other year at least. Try to do it every year.
So it's hard for us to know what I'm saying is hard for us to know what group should we call to see if they've got a planned project. So if they could give us a call and let us know, we'd coordinate with them. That'd be great, Glenn.
Get you some contact
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, I'll give you my card at the meeting, okay?
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Is maintenance going to work on the dike behind the park before Shebang Days, by chance?
That's a weed eating project, and the weed eating is one of the last things to do so that it looks good. And the weed eating around the park is on the list.
Around the park, yeah, but on the
Yeah,
dike.
and that's by the park. That's the back of the park.
Between the bridges, probably.
Yes. And we'll make sure we get
That's
it.
the end of the maintenance.
What about the
report.
drinking fountain? Is that going to be put back together?
The drinking fountain was, they removed the spigot for the winter and they put the spigot back on today.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have a question?
Yeah, I've got a question. It mentioned that the city weeded abandoned property for fire safety. What about a property that's not abandoned, that the weeds are getting 6-7 feet tall? The city want to take care of that too?
Property owners need to do that, and basically we have neighbors, when they call and complain, then a letter goes out from City Hall letting them know the ordinance that they need to keep their property nuisance free, and the letter goes to the homeowner, and that usually spurs them on to do the work.
Well, we called last year and nothing was done last year, and the weeds from last year are still there. No,
Well, you need to follow up it, yeah.
So
and tell
I
us.
just call City Hall. and
Yeah,
that's-
probably, and then we will follow up, with, if the letter doesn't do it, we'll follow up with more.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. We have in the past, I think, when they don't respond, then the city will do it and send them a bill.
Do you have any more on maintenance?
That's it for the maintenance report.
Fire department?
As mentioned in the past on the last meeting, we've got the city fire truck fixed for leaks. The pump was repacked. We have not done the pump testing yet, as he is still not quite ready for that. It'll be within this month. The brush rig that the county has is behind the quick response units building. Is going to have to be taken back to the county so that they can do some work on it, because it's just not useful for us. So that's in the process. We're also doing projects right now. We've been hydro testing air bottles, which are required. The seal air bottles are required every 5 years. We are slowly working those through. We got kind of lazy on those and didn't follow through with them, but that doesn't mean that they're out of service. But we are working on those now. We found out that Oxart would not take our air bottles unless we took the valves out of ourselves and put them back in. But we're not certified to do that, so General Fire will do that whole thing for us. And it's just a time-consuming thing. We do 3 air bottles. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get it back, but time-wise, getting it done is not very much, but it's just transporting when they're available to do it. We had one fire this last week. Somebody decided it was time to burn the pile early in the morning. And,
4 o'clock.
Pardon?
4 o'clock.
Oh, I know.
I wasn't wait pretty early on that one.
So, but anyway, where it was not going to hurt anything, there was no sense in spending a lot of water that wasn't going to do us any good, so we let it burn, and then after it burned down, they did put some water on it later on to keep it well in check.
Anybody got a clue how it started?
There's probably a lot of assumptions, I
Couldn't
suppose.
find evidence is what I heard, but
I have no clue. I do not. I mean, at the time we got the call, let's just put it this way, the pile was very well involved, so we wouldn't even have a point of origin looking at. But no, we've set up, our assistant chief, Brian Beaumont, has set up some training for us, which is great. On Saturday, June 21st, we're going to go to Lapway and train with them, and we'll be taking the county fire truck down there for training, and we'll be working on hydrants and apparatus drills so that our people will get more training on those vehicles. And then July 19th, we're going to have training here using the city fire truck, and then Lapway will be coming up with theirs to train with on the same thing, but up here. So where we work hand in hand together, I think this works really well. So we've got to start on this. So I think we're moving right along in the right process.
That's very good. Does the city have to okay the fireworks stand out there? I was just curious with all the weeds they have going on there, because nobody's maintenance that. It looks terrible for one. And if they sell them, is there a space there?
You're talking about, no, what stand are you talking about?
Right there.
Right here, at the end, right here at
Thunderbird.
the old Thunderbird
That's
is
outside the city.
closed.
Okay, I was just curious because
And they never pick up their trash.
No,
So wouldn't that be Nez Perce County to contact?
yeah, because I'm going to call them anyway because that's a fire hazard right there. They start, I mean, because everybody, there's a bus out there while they're looking at fireworks or whatever, and that's a.
I know, 'cause it's right next to,
I understand your concern,
granaries.
but we'd have to get a hold of the
Listen,
county.
I'll call them.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if it was city.
No, city stops right there.
Right there?
No, stops this side of the
Branson.
As
The
you,
band.
main beds. Yeah.
as you come into town, you'll see the sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
So So it is a concern. They were there last year, and I do know from experience that they're not only selling, but they are shooting off the fireworks
That's why I was
there
concerned
during
about
the
it. 'Cause
day.
the weeds are getting worse and worse and worse.
Some of them have been knocked down by the business across from the railroad track. They've knocked even more down than what they had done recently this weekend, Mike.
Okay.
But it's still, fire hazard
Very much.
waiting to happen.
Our firefighters at the last fire meeting got very busy, and we got both of our rigs washed up, ready to go for the parade and all that. We like the Culdesac parade. We enjoy that.
Great.
They won't let me drive fire trucks anymore because they don't want to get wet. He said,
You're not throwing enough candy.
they don't even let me throw candy anymore. I got to stand on the sideline and see if I can catch it.
You only drove 14 years in a row. I think you could sacrifice a little more. He never got to watch the parade for 14
I did.
years.
Last year, I got one parade. It was great. I enjoyed it.
First time last year.
That's about all I have for the fire department.
Thank you.
Right?
Was there anything from the...
Thank you, Gary.
Was there anything from the sheriff's department?
I have reports. Sheriff Rodriguez called us on May 20th, and he said he will be at the next council meeting, and he's very sorry that he hasn't been out before now. He called this afternoon, very apologetic, and Sheriff Rodriguez said that he's been called to another meeting, and he wanted to be here, but he can't make it. But he said he's going to be here for the parade. So he again apologizes. And then he also mentioned that he had just found out that Bill Madsen had given reports to our newsletter. And when he took over, he didn't realize that, and that's why it's been missing. And I told him I'd get him some information too to help him get the information to Larry for our newsletter. So maybe we'll have sheriff reports in our newsletter again.
Wasn't there one last month's issue?
Yeah.
Has Larry been picking up
I don't
and
know
calling
how.
in rather than...
Yeah, maybe he's just getting it from someone in his office. So but it hasn't been regularly like it was before. That's my report. Hans, Mayor.
I just got one comment on that. When we met the sheriff, that signage out there on the highway, he indicated at that time he was going to have his shift supervisor attend the meeting.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he indicated. He was going to start delegating.
And it was mentioned to him, and then we got a notice that they were going to have someone at our meetings.
And then he's been expressing that he would like to be here, so maybe he'll attend one and then
But if
start
you
training.
keep on them, they might eventually start
Coming in.
getting representation.
Well, it would be nice. Definitely.
Yeah, aren't you representing the sheriff tonight, Glenn?
Yeah, Joe called me tonight, told me all about basically what you said.
Right.
We have been hosting Crime Watch meetings out of Mission Creek. And as you know, there's been a lot of activity with house invasions and burglary and that kind of stuff during the day. And we had pretty good turnout. And we had the Sheriff's Department represented then at the meetings. And Joe suggested that if you guys are interested in a meeting, he wants to couple not just the city, because he's the county sheriff. If I could get contact information from you guys, we'll put a meeting together, and we could incorporate it with our Crime Watch group.
That's a good idea.
So, if you're interested, get a hold of me after the meeting. Let me get your phone numbers and names, and we'll put it together. I was pretty impressed with the way they responded on the stuff out there. You know that a lot of times they're restricted by the law and what they can actually divulge. And, we hate that because we have a good idea who the people are.
We could tell
Can't get
them what's wrong with everything.
Sure. And they have to proceed so that it won't get dismissed. And they pretty much realized what we were doing. Some of the people out there at our meetings just said, look, we're just gonna shoot them and bury them.
That pretty much sums it up. I like that.
And,
I didn't know there was a problem
No,
going on.
no.
I don't know. I think we can do that.
Conspiracy.
Okay.
We don't want to see these guys shot, and we don't want to see people shooting them, but we do want it to stop.
They start going in somebody's house, get the wrong guy, they will end up shot. I'm just saying it'll happen
someday.
They end up in the wrong house. Some old duff will be sitting on his couch going, "Who are you?"
I need to put it in the paper.
It'll happen.
Well, shall we move on to new business? A recommendation for meeting rules.
I liked them.
We thought that it might be a good idea to cover some of these because we're learning new things every day. The laws are changing and whatnot. So to keep abreast and not step on someone's toes, we're trying to educate ourselves.
So do we have to adopt these or?
Right, basically there'd just be a motion to adopt them, you can adopt them. Jim McNall had recommended that if you adopt the meeting rules, that we get them typed up and posted in the meeting room for our meetings.
I recommend it. Fine to me.
So you want a motion?
Yes.
I move that we adopt the new meeting rules.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Don't understand one of them, but I think it's figured out.
Hearing on variance 301 Main Street, number 6.
So the hearing notice set out what John Blosser has come to the meeting to ask for a variance for the trailer that's been moved in on his property for Chuck and Carolyn. And it pretty much sets out what they're asking for, the variance from the City of Culdesac code to the state code. Do you have anything to present to the council, John?
I got pictures here of roughly
Good.
where their trailer is on our property. There should be a copy in with the letter there. Their trailer's roughly 7.5 feet or 6.5 feet from the side property line. Which Jim Yeoman said that would probably be something I need to take up with council.
Just for 1 foot.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 lots and you're putting 2 trailers on 3 lots.
Yeah.
And that goes with the state. It's just
6.5 feet is the state, right?
Yes, 6 feet. The state actually allows 6 feet to the property line. They have 6.5 feet away from the property line. And our city code, though, says 7.5 feet. I think the additional information, John, is that from eaves of the trailer over to the next trailer, there's over 15 feet.
Yeah.
So for fire safety, there's the 15 feet distance there
Between the 2 trailers.
between
So-
the Nets property, Mike Gross property, and your place.
We have to give it an easement, or we just have to say we don't have a problem with
I don't have a
it?
problem with them losing 1 foot of the
Right, you just,
17.
What the variance
Yeah.
usually is the code says is so many feet setback, and part of that is so you can traffic and whatnot. But I personally don't see a problem with it.
the place is set back as the other one is. And the ordinance says as long as it's set back with the other places on the
Now, wouldn't
block.
the other property owner probably be,
Well, there's a big open space between the yard.
But the property
Yeah.
owner's not complaining.
okay, that's what I'm saying.
the-
If he's not complaining, then
It's just-
what
it's
would be
just
the
that-
problem?
The
We're
property,
trying to stay in compliance with the city code
Code.
too. So we're going to the state code for this one.
And that's all we gotta say.
and basically, I just want to let you know that the property owner next door was notified by mail of this hearing and hasn't attended, so as you say, it appears there's no complaint there, or he would be at the hearing. And basically, the council on a hearing like this would need to make a motion that would allow the variance for the property owner.
Well, I move we allow the variance.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
You move in now, Chuck. Well, it's almost.
Oh, we're getting there.
Good.
Okay, so in the donation, you've already done it, we just need the motion.
I haven't done it because I didn't realize that we did it until I was getting my training. Right. And what they did last year was $50. If you would like to donate to the summer reading program, I know it's starting soon. I can get a check to Christy this week. I've already Catherine. And so I would just need a motion to accept City Hall giving a donation and the amount in that motion.
I move we submit to the summer reading program at the library the amount of $50.
We'll let you guys do that, we're on the library.
Yeah, we can't do it.
Well, I second it.
Oh,
All in favor?
is that a quorum with two?
Well, let's see. That's a tie then.
I guess we can't do it.
I'll
You
vote
can't-
in favor. I can vote on it.
Okay.
You can. Oh, you vote
Yes.
no?
They both said
I
yes.
voted with you.
Because
You
we
did?
needed
Okay.
three. We needed three, and so the mayor in that situation can
Motion
vote.
carried.
Yeah, I knew we couldn't say
It's the
anything.
first time that's ever happened.
1,000.
No. I'm more worried about the city finance
Okay.
Than the
summer reading
library.
program.
Okay.
That's funny.
Protection for phone trunk on Wasson Street, John Valley.
What in the world is that phone?
I haven't seen one, so I went and looked, tried to figure what the hell I was talking about, but
Did you see it? It's a big green box, a post that goes up like this, and we have a citizen that has come to present to the council. You could come up and present to them and explain it a little bit further.
I tried to look, and I was like, what would be the problem with what's there? I don't know. That's why you're here.
That's why he's here.
Is that the one with the triangle around it?
No, it's just the green plastic box. It's where they splice telephone wires together and have them trunk off one way or the other. And it's plastic. And it's right on the corner. And about once a year, somebody sees fit to plow it under. And when that happens, well, this last time it sat out in rain for at least 2 weeks before somebody showed up and put an orange garbage bag around it. I guess that was their temporary fix. Like I say, this usually happens at least once a year. And this last time they put a plastic pole, about a 2-inch diameter plastic pole next to the plastic box, and I guess that was their idea of protecting it.
It's orange, right?
It's orange, yeah, you
Orange
see
to
it.
make people see it maybe
I think
more.
it probably gives them a better target because they can see orange.
You got that figured out.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's up to the city or if it'd be up to the telephone company to protect the box.
They need it.
And what corner is that on Watson and Jog? Northwest?
It's the northeast.
Northeast.
Yeah, it's
Bill Hastings'
Bill
old
Hastings'
place,
old place, yeah.
and by his big shop, it's right on the
Right.
corner as you're going around Jog Alley to go down towards Joanne's. Ever seen it, Joanne?
No,
Is that what that was?
that's who hits it.
and it controls all the phone service there.
I think
I would think it's the phone company's responsibility, unless shouldn't be the city if they put it in such a silly place.
Well, not only that, if we put something around it,
Yeah, it shouldn't be a responsibility.
they
I think we'd still have to contact them, so
Yeah.
maybe just contact them and see what they're gonna do about it.
Or do some sort of a share thing, and we get some concrete or something, we could pour a couple posts or lines around it, but I think it's, I agree with you.
Because there's a whole bunch of them boxes
Because
right in town that are
Yeah.
just nobody's touched any. Shit, we got one on the corner of our place up there that I don't even think it's used anymore. I was gonna mow it down and see if anybody came and
Don't.
check it out.
That's very expensive.
Yeah.
Now, the incident with the fire hydrant at the bottom of Pier Lane that got knocked out 3-4 times until they put the 3 iron posts around it.
Yeah.
And it still got knocked out after one of those got put in.
No.
Like 4 years ago or something. So anyway, good point.
Yeah, I think the phone company needs to do something better
We'll check
than
into
plastic.
All right, thank you.
So the instructions will, I'll be calling the contact with Century Lane. I'll be calling them and see, if we can get something more sturdy and permanent around that because of it being
It's hit every every
hit
year.
so often. And
If it's their
Yeah.
baby, we have to get permission to
Touch it.
get within a certain distance of it.
okay, and then if they say they wouldn't do it, then said,
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it.
No, we can't.
we can't do
There's
it.
nothing we can do.
Their responsibility.
If they tell us this.
With the laws the way they are today, they've changed so much that your hands are pretty well tied if you step over.
I think you just about have to get a release of responsibility to protect their property. And that's a real contract.
Well,
But is it their
we'll check into
property
that
or
anyway.
is it their property or the city property with their equipment on
But
it?
it's their easement that they have access.
Probably on the city property, but they have the right of way.
Yeah, so I will
So
get some information.
through logistics, that would be their decision.
If they don't mind it getting mowed down and fixing all the time.
But
I guess.
if they agree to it, we could assist on the repair.
Good job, security.
I've even got some concrete.
The problem is when you call them to come out and repair, they come out and
They usually send a
look
guy
at
down
it.
from Grangeville.
Yeah, and look at it, and then they're gone, and then you call in for the status of the work order. Oh, well, that work order isn't here anymore, which means that they've taken it off because it's done, and then you say, nothing was done, can you send them out again? And that is how they work.
What happened this last time, they came out and put an orange garbage sack over
Yeah.
it and
And
wrote out
then,
their ticket.
you had called in, then I called in 2 or 3 times to just finally get it repaired, so.
Well, we'll see what we can find out.
Perfect.
Pigs cost. They're pretty expensive.
Determination of lot lines between 801
One more time.
$86 a day.
and City Park.
I'm up.
Yep, you're up, Larry.
Yeah, I'm here to determine what the property line is down there on that road next to me and that park.
Don't you have a plot?
He has
City-
some information
a plot
in your packet.
From your,
Okay,
On your
according to
tax-
my taxes, you want to read the top line there on the bottom.
Yes, 1/2 of vacated alley abutting per ordinance 134 INST number 351138. So your vacated alley is the road that was there a long time ago
I
that
don't know,
you
guys.
guys
Yeah, that's
park
the
in.
road.
What I did is I measured between his hotel and the library,
Right. You're
55
saying 55,
I
okay.
pay the taxes for it. Oh.
in the middle. That's where the jog alley went, or that no-name street went up through across the creek. And is that the same one that runs up by,
Probably has.
Mox, the superintendent's office, or
Oh.
house.
Right.
Oh, right
okay,
through there.
that is,
It
yeah.
used to come through there.
what I'm trying to figure out in my mind is how far off my property line do I come this way? In the park.
Well, I thought you said your house was with
In my
the
house,
hotel.
in line, perfect. You stand there in my house, in the hotel, that line's straight across.
Right. And this is the
So
street
that's your
here to
property.
the library.
That's what,
Well,
you're thinking they're saying your You think he's asked part of this?
It says he has half according to that.
Well, usually when a street is vacated, each property owner gets half of it.
Half of it, where's the half?
Do you know where any
Well,
of your
I-
other markers
I
are?
have no idea,
Does-
Kathy.
I know where Larry and I have one. We can measure
They're
from,
right out in the front, yeah.
yeah, I've got one that's under gravel, but we can go from Larry's and go across and get the edge. That's how I know that fence
See,
is,
there's the other thing.
yeah,
Is when I bought that place, those
yeah.
rusty posts were in there, and that's what I've called the property line since I bought it 23 years ago.
And mine
So
goes
when I
another
measure
2 feet
whatever
over
I got, I measure off
that fence.
that pole that's out in between me and you.
That's not gonna give you an accurate,
Well, we got a decree that, remember the Ray Martin thing up there by that house up there where we took that vacated road and between Ray's
Okay.
place and the one next door, and we just split it down the middle and said, this guy got, because they were fighting over where to park their junk cars or something, and the guy couldn't
Yeah,
get it.
I know where
So
that
we
was.
put a line right down the middle and decreed half of it belonged to one person and half, so we're gonna have to do the same with you.
Okay.
So the
And-
27.5 feet, does it go to the bushes, or it goes past the bushes? Is that, you
Well,
want
not the bushes
bushes out?
27 this way, no.
Um,
His place in the library,
yeah.
55 foot,
Yeah,
Yeah.
since half of that's 27 feet.
okay,
So
so,
I'm coming 27 feet off my house, my
right,
fence.
and where's that going?
I've come in about probably 2 foot this side of the hedges.
Right, where those junipers are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think here's the,
So you want
here's the
those out?
juniper.
Well, don't
He's
tell
already
anybody.
got some of them out.
You should
Do we
be,
have
Don't tell
any,
anybody, I've taken half of them out. It's one flavor of a cigarette, it's,
you could probably go, assessor's office and get a plat. They should give it to
they
you.
will give it to you.
Yeah, we got one for down there, well, we started this whole thing with, where?
Van Gelder?
Van Gelder's, and we went down there and got a deal of plot down there, and they gave us exact measurements, even from the, and the way they have it, the creek looks a little different on their map, but
Yeah. We don't have any of the markers in the ground at the at the park or
Before the
anything
flood, they-
to show the,
probably.
I am not
mean,
sure,
because it-
you know,
Their, way they had the creek going, looks like, we had that creek going, that's not even the same damn property. According to that, the dike is, 8 feet farther this way than they're supposed to be.
That's because they made it bigger.
that's what Herman tells them,
But the
that when they
dike-
complain about Larry and my place, Larry's got trees in the levee. I now have a fence up there to keep my dog in, that they made that levee further over than what they were supposed to, made it wider.
Down
And
here,
took up
some of the
property.
And
property
took
was-
up property space.
Yeah, because our property, which we gave away down there on the bottom side of it, it's 8 feet. This way.
Our property originally went clear to the creek,
Right.
and that dike, and I'm sure you probably know this, is that as long as we do something, as a property owner, as long as we do something every year to that dike, it's ours.
ours. And we can travel
It's
down.
grandfather claused in.
Even though I'm not,
Now, with like the conversation with you and me, I don't know that.
yeah, because I've only been there 5 years.
Did you were there when the dike went in? You're saying?
That house was,
but,
and
yeah.
that house has been there for a long time, and you know how long the family's been there.
Well,
I know that if you do go down to the city, I'll go home when I get home and see if I can find mine.
why can't we just take the
It's
27.5 feet from his fence?
It's 8
We
o'clock,
can't.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Really?
Take 20 from December and a half.
It's either that, or you get a rangefinder and set it on the pin.
Well, this is,
I don't-
okay, I don't know whether anybody in here has heard the old property lines in this town.
No surveyor wants to come out here and work.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
It used to be
because
this way,
They
and now
used
they
to
got
be
it all
Property
this
lines
way.
are diagonal.
So they, yeah, and so we straighten them up. So hypothetically, if you want your 2 foot in the front, I get
I'll split
5
it
in
with
the
you.
back.
I don't know, do we have to have a resolution? Is that what we did with Mike and Ray?
We have to find out where it's at
Change
first.
your policy on this.
Really?
I want my $400 back. Because I had to have 3 notices in the Tribune to vacate this alley over here and pay $400.
Tearing out edges in the park, that's what park.
And Lorna tried to do it for $1 and they shot her down. So I want my money back.
So basically what you're telling me then, go into the city?
I would go to the county.
County assessor's office, and they'll print out a copy.
They can make you a copy of your layout.
It's topographic
If I get the copy,
And tell them,
photograph and bring it out to you people? or-
Take that number, they need that number on your taxes. Yeah, they need that, and they'll pull a map up and they'll make you 8.5 by 11 copy of the layout there.
We discussed this, whatever happens on this deal, I'd like to take that edge out.
Oh, definitely.
No expense to anybody, I'm retired,
You wanted to fence it, didn't you, Larry?
Well, I'd like to, but I don't wanna,
Let's get the line.
I don't wanna act like a charity case either.
Well, I know, but it is
If it does come to
difficult.
this, we'll fence it and.
It is difficult with shebang days, people walking over into your garage and other times during the year when we have people there, they kind of,
How are we gonna get electricity? My place is the bouncy.
yeah. I know.
We're running from your backyard to there.
Well, that'll be fun. I got a little.
100 extension cords.
But we have to,
Yeah.
if we're gonna let him do that, give it,
Yeah.
we have to.
Go to
We
the
gotta
county
find
in
out
the
what
morning,
the
right?
properties are.
Or when I get.
Right, you're,
Not in the morning.
okay,
But I'll
So,
I think he brought up a good point, was part of that vacating up there, the reason there was money involved there. You're gonna have to do this through the county and get new pin codes. And they're the ones that charge. If I
They
remember
were
right
the
on that
ones that
Ray
the money
Martin
came from.
place, there was, by the time they re-agreed and they had to get, that looks about right enough. He split it with Glado.
Okay, so if I get the copy from them, bring it out and approach you guys and show you what the property and stuff is, and let you guys adjust from that point.
Yep.
I think it all has to go through the county, and that's where they want the money to have the new deeds certified and stuff. Might be, I don't know what it's.
I can handle that.
You can handle it, and we'll just agree.
Stay in that fight with us.
so, shall we table this for unfinished business for next month?
Yeah, before they're done with you, it's gonna be $400. Go for the whole 50 feet because they're gonna poke you at the end if you just go for half of it.
Do you see what I had to pay on property tax last year? Another 50 foot on that thing, no.
Yeah,
Let's
raise
say,
your taxes, huh?
Yeah.
All right, well, you'll be on the agenda then for next month to come
Next
back
month,
and
bring
show
the
us
map.
what you
I
get,
got you. I'll go get it.
correct?
All right, everybody have a good evening.
I probably have.
Enjoy your time out here.
Yeah, maybe if we
So you
can,
can leave the
so we
beer
can
alone.
be ready to vacate.
Oh,
Do what?
yeah.
Whatever it is we have to do to vacate, give him half and. We have to.
need a break.
I will find out.
Because my property goes over another 2 feet.
Over 2 feet of what? His?
Into his, yes.
So he can
No,
vacate
I'm
to
talking
you.
about the road.
Right.
We
but
have to
you-
vacate
you-
that road for
Right,
him.
you vacate the road, but
We
you
give-
can't,
We give half to him
but
and
we
half
gotta
to the
find
city.
out where the markers are, where the pins are.
What's that got to do with you on the other
Well,
side of the house?
I see what you're saying, because what you're saying is.
You can't,
you're-
how do you know what to
The
vacate?
starting point, you don't know where the ending point will be, because it's actually 2 feet farther this way. If it was actually where it started here, he would be behind this side of the hedges. But if it starts here, where her property actually starts, you're going 2 more feet farther this way.
You're going 2 more feet into the city property.
But
That's why you.
if you go to get serious with it, then they'll tell you the only way they can do anything is hire a government surveyor. He finds a government marker.
Really,
and
do we
then
want to go
start-
through that? Why don't we just
They
let him
start
take the
from
hedge
there
out?
and work back. We had the same problem and we
Yeah.
most of us was put on someone else's property.
I have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with taking the hedge out.
I think you agreed with him. I think you stated that.
Of course, if you just just did it, didn't worry about who owned it.
I don't even know where the heck it came from. It didn't used to be there.
Somebody planted it.
Evidently.
Quite a while ago,
I think it was a
grown
city
up like
project. They got the
a lot.
So let's move on to new business.
New or unfinished?
Unfinished.
We're done with new
Yeah.
business.
New is over, we're number 9's click off.
A, resolution of ordinance for adoption of manual on uniform traffic control device and speed limit change on Bullpine Drive and Pomeroy's Road.
Well, I read it twice and I didn't see a speed limit. It's just if we adopt that, they say what you can do.
On my notes in the meeting packet, the council packets, I told you that I was working with City Attorney Ed Letnicker to get the resolution finalized. We needed to insert cross streets, and we had some questions when looking at our maps on what was discussed at the council meeting. And take one and pass them on. This is the finished resolution. We have the resolution now. I'm sorry, call me, Joanne. You have my home phone number. And then this is the ordinance. It's numbered and the date of signing is corrected. So this is the ordinance.
Yeah, I read it.
All right, there.
Okay. We're all set in one here.
I wanted to explain that when I brought this to you at the council meeting last month, our city attorney thought that you could adopt it with just a simple resolution. As he did the research on it, he said to have things in place better, he recommended the ordinance rather than just the two resolutions. So there is an ordinance change. So we're taking the ordinance 10, vehicles and traffic, that has the 10.01 in it, and we're taking this part of the loading zones and adding that ordinance there to it.
So this applies only to this one little spot, and it's just part of the ordinance.
What the ordinance does is when people come with suggestions to the council on road and street matters, the council will be following the guidelines
Also,
in
this is
that.
going to be a reference for the future.
It's for the future.
Okay.
Everything's
Following.
in place with the ordinance.
Got it.
The resolution, number 1403, that would just be for the speed limit. The request that the council approved from the citizen.
And it just says Bullpine Drive.
And it's Bullpine Drive up and around to the end of
But
it.
this just gives us a reference point for the next time somebody wants to put a speed limit sign.
Right.
Okay.
I have a question. Bill, can we put this loading zone out there in front of your apartment so that we get all those cars off the road?
I was going to get to that on new business anyway, but about no parking, at least 50 feet this way.
There's supposed to be a sidewalk there, I know that. There's no room for one, so.
I see loading zone, so that I'm jumping on that.
Well, it's up to you. I abstain from the
I
question.
know you can.
I want to see a no parking sign sitting there at least certain hours, because people come out of there, they can't, I don't know how many times that.
Well, that was stupid of them to put their RV there.
No, but it's even
Well, even
cars.
the truck, when they
Even
park
the
that
car.
truck there.
You used to have get on Johnny for parking there, because
Right.
the kids, now we're going to have kids hit this summer. Their kids are horrible in the street, riding their bikes. I know I'm off the subject.
If you
I know, we
want,
should take care of
we
the
need to
ordinance
take care
and
of
the
this first.
resolution.
it has to be
No,
on
that
the
was-
agenda.
I'm on
You
that
guys
one, too.
decide you want to do it. I don't have any opinion.
Okay, I move we
Did
adopt
you
this
have an
ordinance.
extra
and-
copy?
I second.
Oh, yes, we did. We came out with two, didn't we?
Yeah, I got two.
I passed them on.
Oh, there's two. Now he's getting, you
Johnny,
got
did you
both of
move?
them back.
Oh, did I give them both?
Now you get
Oh,
one
now you're
back.
stealing. All right.
I know you have both of them before you, every
Yes.
council member and mayor.
Okay, I move we adopt,
Absolutely.
take them.
We
What
need-
are we doing?
We need to get back to the,
Topic at hand.
Okay, I move we adopt
It's
these.
kind of a bad-
I think that,
291 and 1403.
I think on the adoption that they're two separate documents. I would like to see two separate motions, even though that we're getting them at the same time. I'd like a motion for the ordinance, and then after we pass the ordinance, then a motion for the
I move we
resolution.
accept ordinance 291.
I noticed the only change in it
I
just
second.
says is from mayor to city council authorized to be determined by motion. That's the only.
That's the change, and then it's all the new language.
That's on the,
Motion carried.
on the ordinance. On the ordinance.
Ordinance 291.
Yeah, it's all,
Joanne moved
it's
and Mike second.
Mike Weber
and-
second,
And it passed.
without a vote from Bill Schreiber.
Right. I'm assuming that's because, well, I guess I can
This
go
one
on the
you
ordinance, it has nothing to do with me personally.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll vote yea.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now the
Okay,
resolution.
I move we
The
we adopt
resolution-
Resolution 1403.
Bull Pine, speed limit change.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
You ever try to drive a car up that road at 50 and it's impossible?
I know.
Well, we're just
Your
trying,
tires start spinning and you throw gravel.
you're trying to get them down to 25, but
Yeah, that's what.
that's
we're
what the
hoping.
discussion. And then briefly, while we're on the topic of signs that you had brought up, the City Hall office has not got to ordering street signs that we talked about probably 3 council meetings back, where the council approved buying the signs to go at the end of Ponderosa Loop and the end of Bull Pine Road. As I recall, that said no parking anytime, fire lane. And at that time, we could get a better deal if we got 4, and we weren't quite sure where to put them. It seems like from some further discussions that we could probably use the 4.
Yeah, you can.
The fire lane could be there, because I've heard comments from QRU that they can't park the ambulance. It's out in the middle of the street if they have a call. So I just wanted to bring that up to think, and since we already approved that, it could be just directed to get the 4.
I agree.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Thank you.
But back in, now that we've got those other 2 done, in front of.
No, we just took
apartment,
care of that.
That one, so we are putting no parking there? Okay.
Where?
We railroaded you.
What you just voted on.
No
You
one,
said it had nothing to do with it. You never said exactly on that
no,
zone.
we didn't. We passed, Joanne moved and Mike seconded the ordinance, and then Mike moved and I seconded the resolution. We had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with your
Completely
place.
different now.
Right.
We have no parking signs ordered a couple of months ago because
To be purchased.
to be purchased.
And
For the fire thing, yeah.
Right. Well, it's cheaper if we order 4 than 2.
Oh,
And so 4
okay.
we'll order and put up there,
we'll have
and it'll be done.
different places in
I'm
town
sorry,
where they'll be
I'm
put.
just thinking about all
And
this parking fiasco I have.
The council doesn't have to vote, they just approved
We
with
just took care of the
verbal
parking.
Yes, you won't have a fiasco no more, because there's be a sign there that says no parking.
to order 4. And we'll get on this sign ordering in between the audit and budget.
Oh, and everything else you have to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Exterior junk at 203 4th Street. Status of cleanup.
Well, Jim says he won't touch it, right?
The
He did
camper,
everything he
the
said.
camper is still there. I don't know if everyone's driven by. I do have pictures if you want to see how it looks. I have the
I think
pictures.
everyone's seen it.
We
Jimmy
did.
everyone's
did
saying-
a heck of a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks,
But he
I mean,
says he
right
won't
now-
touch that.
He won't touch the
Here's
camper.
the
I don't
front of the
blame you.
house. It just
I
looks
wouldn't
so
touch it
good.
either.
I believe it's city property now. We can do anything we
It
want.
is.
We get
That,
it.
yeah, that, but when she touched that camper.
She hasn't made an attempt to notify the city. So
I have a
they can
report.
attempt all they want to talk to the other citizens, that has nothing to do with us.
So from my report, the phone number I had was just a message. As you read in the notes, I left a message for her. She didn't contact me back. The daughter that the camper supposedly belongs to did not contact me back. And from the direction that we've had from our city attorney is that when it gets to a point that something isn't being removed, then we can go back to where we contact the people that had contacted City Hall willing to do salvage and have them present proposals to City Hall. And then that can be reviewed at the next meeting. And then the city attorney will do a short little contract to protect the city, and for the contractor to sign, and
I
then
thought
the
it was on
person.
a pickup.
No,
she's got a camper.
Was there a run on it?
It's just a camper
They had-
seat in
what they
there,
had
no
was a whole
truck.
bunch of camper bits and pieces on a truck back there.
Well, they had furniture and
Yeah.
clothing and that old
Cameras.
But it's a,
Okay.
It looks a lot better than any of the Lord.
I never saw that fence before.
If we've done everything we have to do, then.
With the exception of getting rid of the campground. That's it.
So you've got
So we're,
solution in process.
So I haven't started, I want a direction from the council, and so,
I say go with
So
what you
direct.
have going.
well, if the council directs to go and do the letters to the contract, to have the people who've expressed interest in salvage, letting them know what's left and having them give us a proposal to bring to the next meeting, correct?
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
sounds
Okay.
good.
Good to me.
I don't think she's going to bother to call that
No.
thing worth $25 scrap.
No, it's not worth anything.
And we'll see, now that we have less there, if the people who had expressed interest in the beginning, if they still have an
Even
interest.
there. And it wouldn't burn. We wouldn't dare take it to our.
I think Jimmy said it was the one that was off the highway down there,
Yeah.
and I think when they go to pick it up, I think it's probably just gonna fall apart. Because it blew off of a
Jim
truck.
almost hit him.
It blew off of a truck and hit the ground and rolled into the ditch.
That truck was going this way.
Uh-huh.
I did that yesterday and I walked my dog. It looked like a neat set of match underneath this.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, part of it would burn, but I mean the metal part.
Yeah.
The outside isn't going to burn. So we
No, but I
wouldn't
don't,
dare-
whoever wants to pick it up, it's gonna be in pieces.
It's going to cost them
It's
money.
gonna cost them money.
Probably.
Yeah.
street light switch to LED light fixtures.
Okay, I was given the quotes for the fixtures, and as was reported at the last meeting, they were a little higher than was at first expressed. And the 25 watt ones are $172 each, and the 42 watt ones are $188 each. Now, the 42 watt ones would be the brighter ones that would go on intersections, and then the 25 watt ones would be just down streets. And I don't know how many intersection lights we have, but all total we have 39 street lights. We have not been able to reach a Vista. I myself tried and wasn't able to get a human today, just to see if I could get to the right department to ask the question if they would install these energy efficient lights if the city purchased them. And the other question that we had, well, do you offer these type of LED street lamps to swap out what we have? I can't get a human at a Vista. Wanted to for the meeting.
They said Herman said they were going to check with the Vista again on that.
And he attempted, they didn't call him back, and so I attempted today just to see if I could get some information, and I couldn't get to a human.
So what do we need from them to process this? What are we missing in this whole thing to process these lights?
Well, the big
They're
problem,
more economic.
No, I mean,
How
are they gonna be
able to do anything?
We need somebody to be able to put them in. We don't have the equipment to go up high enough.
To install them ourselves.
That's what we're waiting for.
And so that's why
Where
we're,
we're at on that.
Have we got
that's why
$40,000 to do it?
40 times 200 is 8,000. If you got 30 dying street lights at $200 a piece, that's 8,000.
And
We don't need to get them all. We get 5 of them.
yeah, you can get some at a
That'd be
time.
nice. 'Cause I know I got some
So-
at my house. It's amazing those little tiny things, how bright they are.
I'd say go for the larger ones for
Start with
$20.
intersections though.
Yeah, maybe start with the intersections. That would make more sense.
You can leave mine out. I don't really like the light that's there to begin with.
Carry this on next meeting, maybe we'll get some more info on it.
Yeah, the missing piece is a Vista and how they can get installed before we want to order them, right? Okay.
I'm gonna have no
Was there any-
Make it black.
Any
Yeah.
added information on the Fox letter?
Haven't heard anything further, and I don't think he's active because he did not contact the building inspector.
Now, you can give the report on the
Roof. Sorry about that. I don't know why I didn't catch it down. I wrote the note up there. Anyway, I think what we need up here is flashing, a little meshing, some tin work. And I've talked to Early Bird and, as I mentioned, Ziggy's. They both recommended both. I've talked to both of them. One's 25 years, one's 15 years. I kind of like, and they're just little independents. And but they're if we're going to have to bid on it, or else we just have one come out for $50 and he'll tell us what's wrong. He just needs gas money. I think maybe that's the place to start, unless you want to do a bid and get two bids. After he gives a bid, at least I've got to have authority to pay him $50 to come out and look at it. Is that reasonable?
And he's a contractor guy?
Yeah, he's been bonded and Lewiston,
Well, I don't see a problem paying him to have to come out and look at it.
So I'd say if I agree that it's under $100, it's normal maintenance stuff. We'll just have the one guy come out and he can figure out what's needed. If we feel it's a little high, then we'll have to go for a bid. Is that your feeling? Get someone else to come out after?
So we've got to get it fixed.
See if he writes grants.
It shouldn't be that expensive. I don't think you're
Right, and if we're, from
what I see of it.
what I'm learning on bid processes and the public bid process, it's a certain amount, so we can see what he quotes. If it gets up above the number that you have to put it out for a public bid quote, then we'll know. But again, we need to find out
That's
the problem.
where it is.
So I just, when we get through the shebang,
If he comes out and appraises the job and puts a bid in, and then we can go from there.
okay, but then I got enough, we can agree to pay him $50 to come out here, pay his gas
Do we
money.
need to vote on it,
We're
or?
paying for an estimate, that's all we're doing, that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
So I think as long as the council approves that we go forward with this, that we
We
need
have to
sell
go
the
forward
phone.
because that's compromising the whole building back
Oh,
there.
yeah,
Right,
I'm
and-
just want the $50 so we can go forward, so.
Yeah, but he'll submit the
Agreed.
bill and City Hall will pay it. Right?
Yeah.
Sounds good. And he seems pretty, I kind of like the guy, I got asked him all the questions. A couple of them didn't know metal stuff, and I immediately dropped them, because they, I don't want to deal with metal. And I said, well, I think it needs metal. We got to get that edge to go down over that concrete. So that's my opinion. We'll find out when he looks
When
at
he
it.
looks at it, he may tell you different.
Thank you.
We're moving right along, yeah.
Move on to F, change to process for collecting past due accounts.
Oh, that's come up again.
I didn't go get mine now. Did you get your, you said you would get some.
Oh, I said there was some information in
Past
past.
meeting, I didn't go back. Maybe we need another month.
I can make copies of the package.
How's it working for you? Just look thinking about it.
Put this on unfinished business for the next one.
We just keep adding it to the agenda and sending out past due notices. Did you
Yes.
What I was talking about, I copied the ordinance for the utility billing, and then also there were information going through our
And we have this.
email. And it shows how other cities in Idaho are handling their situation in there. And there's a little memo from me. And so
I'll look back to it.
So if you want, if you can't find,
I'll try to
make
come up
another
with
copy.
I don't remember seeing that, so I might need a copy of that myself.
Yeah, it's been coming in the council packets, but it's been tabled so many months.
Oh, I have everything in my packet. This is my packet.
No.
No, not this month's packet.
Oh.
Like when we first talked about maybe March,
Yeah.
February,
Yeah, what is
we
this?
started talking about it.
Okay, next month.
Next month.
We'll do
Okay,
it.
Hey, I love this.
You got your paper, we'll get back.
It's in there. With my all my resolutions and
I guess there's no further business.
Yeah, there is. I got a bunch of information that I'd like to give you guys on that dust abatement that I don't think as far as the research went. I said I got a bunch of information on research on that dust abatement that I think was looked at in Burgie before you guys made your decision and voted on that. And I'd like to, I talked about it to Mike. I've given my copies of the paperwork to Kathy. I've sent everything to the city clerk, asking her to print stuff off and give you guys all copies. Whether or not you have time to be able to read it or even received it, I have no idea. But I have more in addition to what Kathy has.
You want to explain to him, Mayor Bob?
Pardon?
You want to explain to him, Mayor, what we...
He has to be on the agenda.
Okay.
Larry,
All right.
I appreciate it.
Right now, I'm going to stop you. Okay, right there at the very beginning, it says, please add me to docket.
And you were not added to the docket because we voted last month at the city council meeting. I checked with the city attorney. It was finished business. You cannot recall something that has been voted on to come before
All
this
I want
session.
to do is present more information. I don't care about what the vote is. I just want to inform the council about it.
And it'll be great for next year. I wish that we had talked before that you had been part of this process.
You know what? You could have went ahead and explained that to me instead of waiting till now. Because Kathy told me this could have been added to the docket.
but I
did too.
and I was wrong. Since it was on the agenda for 2 months to 3 months prior and a decision had been made, I can't go back and bring it back up.
Now, a council member that has voted yes for the dust abatement can bring it back up. If one of the councils that voted yes, they can do that.
Which is also something that is a crock of crap too, because when you guys voted on that, Joanne, you sat there and you, right there at the very end in May, and said, I don't want it. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to vote.
I said I wouldn't vote against it, but I wasn't voting
Right.
for it.
But then,
So that means I'm for
but then
it.
you turned around and you voted for it.
I'm abstaining.
And I'll tell you what, because this is just flipping crazy. All I wanted to do was come and give you some information. I didn't want to raise any problem. So right there's your information. You can go ahead and read it.
I think we need to read it, Larry. I put it with my stuff to read again and bring back up next year when we come back to it.
It's just crazy, man.
Hey, this is, we did vote for this because we
Yes, I know.
needed
I know
this
you
thing,
did.
And unfortunately, I see you've seen some problems with magnesium. It's darn good information we should have. I'm glad you brought it.
And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to present it to you. But now I'm being told that I can't even stand here in front of you and
I'm asking a
be...
council member to
You
bring
can
it
do
back
You
up.
can get on the agenda and you'll have...
I asked to be on the agenda, and now I wasn't even told.
It was already bid out, so we can't...
But you could go ahead and you could listen to the presentation, and so you guys could be informed so that you can, at a later time, make a better decision.
We'll read the information.
Bring it up.
And we'd like to have you be here later on an agenda and present it to us. Any questions we have and see what you had to say. Maybe we didn't know this stuff.
That's why I get it. That's the reason why I requested those 3 months, and I had no flipping clue what was being put on that street. And all I'm trying to do is make you guys smarter about your decisions. That's the only... I spent 3 days researching this stuff, just so that you guys would know.
Well, I want to...
So now when I come down here and I'm told that I can't do it,
It's weird.
it's a waste of time. I can see that.
I don't have that one.
I know you don't,
I
Kathy.
have the one with the orange on the front. I just saw one bill.
Yeah, that's the ITD.
No, I
Okay,
think
give
we
it
should
a
have
moment.
them presented. I think we're obligated this time around. But,
So,
yeah,
It
Larry,
may end up I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
gonna change your vote or change your mind or whatever, but the point being is that you guys need to be more smarter about this stuff. Magnesium chloride is a really bad setup. And the ligno, even though you guys in your meetings stated that didn't really understand why it had been, the community didn't like it,
Right,
okay?
passed on.
Right, okay. What it amounts to is that ligno was not applied. Now, you talked about the stuff being out on logging roads and stuff. You're from where I'm from headquarters. Okay, so I know what you've been around. All right. When it come to in your meetings about whether or not be $4,000 or $6,000. Okay, one thing that I didn't hear in the meeting is the cost of the gravel. The cost from Boyer. Okay, that is going to be added into your setup, right? Into your
road
phone
every
cost.
year. But
Right,
yeah.
right, okay. So, also in that meeting, I heard that there was $4,000 that was set aside for the road maintenance. You stated that, approximately $4,000. Okay, so if you're going to spend $6,000, where's the other $2,000 coming from? Out of a slush fund to be able to do that? I'm just curious.
We got how much? We got lots of money in the road fund. Our problem is we can't afford to do any paving.
Right.
Well, we do
Okay.
the grading and the gravel. That's about what
Okay,
we spend.
now I heard also that there was a lot of ups and downs with the community and whether or not they wanted it, and some wanted it and some didn't, right?
Right. Well, they all came and said they
First
wanted it.
group,
We
the first
didn't
group
want
said
it.
they did.
The first group did.
And we were going to say no until they all showed up and said they wanted it.
And I've got a little recording over there that if you'd really like short clips. But let me show you something else.
What's everybody's consensus? Okay with me, I don't care.
Yeah, you brought it forward. We're moving forward because you voted yes for it. You brought it forward.
I
We're
wanted
having the
to hear what he has
presentation.
to say. I don't
So
think we can do
we're having the
anything about it.
No,
presentation.
I don't have any problem about that.
I don't think there's a rush to do it now. We got a whole year
No,
till the next
no.
time.
But I think
But
they'll put it,
this
don't
is-
file it away, leave it with your current stuff.
Yeah, Larry, you took away my copy.
Well,
Don't
this is-
file what away?
This stuff that he's giving you, don't, because we're gonna have to revisit this next year.
Right. And I really think, if you got a good valid point, it's like all the problem we had with the gravel. And sometimes afterwards, the grading and all this stuff needs a step by step. And we didn't have that straightened out too. We thought we did pretty good to figure that out.
You're saying it's really bad stuff for us or for our cars? The
For the whole community, okay?
I sure didn't like the tree set. That was horrible. That ruined my roads.
But most of it,
Because the guy in here, this
So I threw this down,
Well,
so now I'm all unorganized.
I'm really, if I'm giving this a chance to talk for 20, 15 minutes here, that's fine with me.
It says magnesium chloride is a much better product. He says
Yeah,
all
but
the
that's-
districts around
he's
use
selling that product.
Yeah, that's,
So he's gonna come from a biased point.
Right.
I
he
mean,
says most districts are using it.
Now here's a case against magnesium chloride, here's another case
Well,
against
that's what,
magnesium
I was looking
chloride.
at.
Here is Idaho Department of Transportation, which I found, which states, right here, as long as it is applied correctly, right? Is that what that's saying?
Yeah,
Proper
Chesapeake.
application, which
Okay,
is known
now,
as
all right, now when ITD is going down the road, right, they apply that stuff during, or before the road freezes, right? You see nothing but lines going down.
Right.
Okay, what this saturation is doing, right, sodium chloride is 100% salt. Magnesium chloride is 50%. Magnesium
I know Larry doesn't
chloride.
like that stuff they put down in there.
Magnesium chloride, we also talked about the runoff because of shebang days trying to get that stuff taken care of, correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not doing it for that now.
Right, okay.
Not done.
Magnesium chloride, the reason why ITD says to wash your rigs, and they implement that.
Yeah, regular,
Yeah, okay. Magnesium chloride looks for moisture. Anything over 27%, and it's stated in this material, is it will grab it. And it activates it again, and the long term is it is constantly
It
resting.
will grow longer.
Okay? Now this stuff, when it runs down the road, boom, there goes the cement on the bridges. There goes the culverts. There goes the brakes on your rigs.
Do you know this, Glenn?
Yeah. It's true. I come home with my big truck and park them over the concrete and all the stuff's on the mud flaps. Falls on the concrete and it's all pitted out in one season.
It says it eats
He's
into
not making it
aluminum
up.
and stainless steel.
No, I know he's not, because I've got the whole, I've got 4 packets that I've already read. I haven't seen some of the stuff. I know he researched it. Yeah.
This one's the same way.
So
That's
here-
where I didn't catch it.
I think
Yeah.
the valid.
here's another thing, guys. We read. Now that's the way.
Preparation for applying legal sulfonate, is that the
That's
three-step?
ligno. That's ligno.
That's
And
the
look at the preparation of the road. They want a crown in it, and they want it watered. Okay. Now both the magnesium chloride and the ligno, both of them can be applied dry. Okay. Now when you were talking about the stickiness and everything else, and you'd see that up in Wee Eye on the logging roads and stuff, that's when it's applied dry. It is not applied when it is wet. The gravel is not laid down. Okay, they're just, because it's a logging road.
Right.
Okay, we're dealing with the city of Culdesac. We are more focused on, my main concern is long-term destruction of the community. And that is what that stuff is going to do. And the personal effects, all right, any drainage that comes off, all right, I did the calculations on this magnesium. And it figures out that Roadwise was charging you $186 a ton. It takes, for 6,000 gallons, that is 32 tons. That's 32 tons of magnesium chloride that you are putting on the city streets that is going to do long-term destruction to the community, the drainage devices, personal property, any runoff that is going to go in to the creek has to, I mean, you don't even want to get involved in it with the tribe. Look how long it took with that bridge to get them started. Okay? Not to mention our next generation, every summer our children are playing in that creek. These are the kind of things that I wanted to let you guys know.
I wish I knew this 2 months ago.
Well, I had no idea.
No, he didn't know.
Okay? Now, I mean, even though you guys had this stuff planned, I mean, you had this planned, you know,
Planned every year, we don't even think about it.
You know, if now that you have this knowledge, I mean, an executive decision or session, you could go in and you could change your minds. But here's 2 other things I wish to show you. All right, this stuff right here. Okay, you guys know this as well as I do. All right, when you come into the road down here, we got a beautiful cul-de-sac community sign. What's the first thing you hit?
Dead grass.
No, you hit potholes that we constantly have to repair.
Oh, yeah.
That's maintenance work that is constantly being done. Okay, you have gravel over this one. Whether or not it was the railroad, Camas Ferry Railroad, that took it out up there at Craigmont, it no longer goes across I-95. You go into Craigmont, They are gone. Take a chunk of that personal, or not personal, but that road money. Fix most of these.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, that's,
I don't know if that, are you saying take them out?
yeah, take the rails out.
I don't think they're gonna let us.
Can't take it.
Because they don't use them.
No, they're owned.
Up there, they don't use them, but here, he still parks.
And
Yeah, he
it's,
parked the cars down below there. He
it's
could push
owned.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah, he pushes them all the way
We don't
through.
own them.
Now, it wouldn't hurt if we had some, a good pour of
It would,
concrete or something to.
I- I personally would find out about that, Mike.
Well, they're responsible for it.
But they
For
don't.
crossing.
Yeah, but they haven't, you
But
can't
they
get them to
don't.
do anything.
They can't go across the trusses,
Can't get 'em to
but
weed.
they can do storage,
Right.
which is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's something to check into.
Well, they're responsible for the crossings too.
Well, there you go. Figure it out.
You can't get to come in here and look at it, let alone.
And here's one more thing.
Okay.
And then I am done.
Glad you,
Larry,
glad I let you present.
can you leave us all this?
Yeah, it's all yours.
And I can keep it until this rolls around next year, because every year we have dust abatement. And, I think the problem was this year we got that one bid and it was so much per mile, or what was it? And we didn't have
Per gallon.
See, that's another thing with that Ligno. It's only 2.5 gallons per mile.
Oh, okay.
All
You're
right.
kidding.
So that's how you
Per
can figure
mile,
it
and
out.
it's in the paperwork. Okay? Now, where they're getting you is that 600 gallon minimum,
6,000.
or 6,000.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they're getting you.
So how are they gonna apply 6,000 if it's what your rate
No,
is?
that is the minimum rate. That was the thing in your guys' meetings where Mike was wanting the actual figure. Well, the actual figure was right in front of your face.
It was so
All
much
right,
around.
at 69 cents a gallon, and it's a 6,000 gallon minimum. Put the math together, it's 4,100.
Just about what the,
Which is the quote I told the council in the March
And
meeting.
the other quote from Roadwise was 5,900. Okay,
And I gave
it was a
you-
difference of 1,800 and some odd dollars. Okay, but the difference is the knowledge in the application. All right, now, I also heard you earlier state when you were having a discussion with Mike, yeah, the road maintenance already been done. Well, I have no idea where that's all coming from because there hasn't not been any gravel laid down. Now, the roads, to do proper road maintenance, before you do any type of application, it should be bladed in, spread out, watered down. Put another layer down of rock. Make sure it's crowned, then lay
we
that
don't
stuff
have one
down.
decent water trucks, we have barely got a grade.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, is this is all stuff that you guys have got to consider. When you are considering any bid or whatever, you have got to be, instead of just saying, oh, well, how much is this going to cost? Well, figure out what the product is, research the product, then move forward.
I'm not getting paid enough to spend 40 hours a week here, my friend.
She is.
She's pretty busy.
You'd like to come in my office.
Look at all this.
But that's what I'm saying, okay?
Yeah.
You gotta be knowledgeable before you make a decision.
Well, it's just been one of those things that's been doing and doing. You just
I know, it's a repetition. And pretty soon it becomes a rut, and lo and behold, you put yourself in a bad spot.
I certainly see the difference. Are we locked in? And I said, yeah, we made
a decision for this year, but we
I know we need a whole bunch of road work. Nothing gets done on roads other than basic.
And you know,
But when 20 people showed up when we said let's hell with this dust abatement, it's a waste of money and time. 20 people showed up and says, I want it, other than 2.
see now,
One was
you have the audio that I sent you.
I wasn't able to
That's why I-
download it on the city.
Okay, I will bring it down to you,
Thank you.
and you can give it to these guys.
Right.
It's clips of the last 3 meetings.
Oh, you're the one
And-
that's the.
Yeah, and you know I know my ship, Bill.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point being is that I'm giving you the stuff, take the time,
What?
look through it. Just don't throw it in
This
the
deal with the
corner.
dikes, we pass inspections on them.
Yep.
Okay,
Core consent.
now you just brought another thing up. All right, earlier, okay, you said that they were weed eating and it's all fire hazard and la-di-da-di-da. Okay, that dike and that cheatgrass is the biggest fire hazard we got in this city. Now, there's a picture
Down
right
by that
there.
bridge over there was pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, okay. There are pictures in there. I've walked from my house, went that way. Come down to my house, went this way. Now, as far as being able to ride on that dike, from Earl's on, I could drive my pickup down there with no problem. Behind Katie and Red, it's uglier than heck. Let me see that cheatgrass thing.
That's the right
There's the
one.
big one. There's the big one too. Okay. For just a second, Joanne, look at this. This is Larry in Katie's yard.
Okay.
This is the cheatgrass that is moving down, clear down into the flowers. Okay. Now, behind Katie and Larry, that's where it becomes bad. Kathy's place and my place, rough. Larry and Donna, there's dirt on that. No problem. There's a little bit of odds and ends behind the park. Okay, and from 6th Street down, we all know that's ugly, going down to the trailer park. And you
We're
can
told
hardly
we
walk
can't
that.
put anything on the dike, the engineers, so we can't make it. I thought it'd make a great bike path. The owner can't put anything on it. I've been told after.
I'm concerned about the spraying and the fire hazard. It needs to be
Is that
sprayed.
coming up? I mean,
It
like I
does
said,
need to get done.
we always pass
should
the
be done.
test.
Oh, that cheatgrass?
I've asked
That
them,
cheatgrass right there, look at that. 1 to 2 feet tall.
I've
The
asked,
seeds on it are this flipping
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
I've asked them to spray in the spring, early spring, and in the fall. And we're lucky, and Larry sprays his own. My daughter's come to do mine because I can spray mine, but she's coming with the weed eater because I can't get it going. But I spray my own.
Jerry does Earl's.
Yeah, Jerry does Earl's, yeah.
And he can drive.
Point being
He
is,
goes up to the bridge
our
and
maintenance
drives.
crew don't do it.
Well, we can't get into that here.
But, you know, I mean,
They're the ones supposed to do it.
if we're doing fire hazard out here for the city, we need to do
Well,
it.
I just thought that, like
All
I
the
said,
way
we
up.
pass inspections, so I didn't know we were having trouble on the dike.
Well, when they,
I mean, this
That is once
place,
a year?
this place, Joanne, is becoming a retirement community.
Mm-hmm.
We have a hard enough time trying to keep the dang school open.
Right.
Okay? Katie and Red are in their 70s. I'm not even going to ask you. I
I'm
will be-
67, I'll be 68
Okay.
in August.
Earl, there's no way he can even get around.
No, I thought.
He's on his scooter doing 70 miles an hour. Okay? And what's above him? You drive by that bridge every day. You know how
Yeah.
goddamn tall that stuff is. I don't even know who lives there.
That's a
But
private lane there.
Yeah. But up there by that bridge, that's
I know it's terrible, but
it's city height, man. But it's that cheatgrass. I mean, that stuff up there, that's green. Okay? But that cheatgrass, we all know how fast that stuff burns.
Well, it's gonna
And
be
it's
hot.
encroaching. So the winds blow that way in the morning. No,
well, that's
that
something we
way.
ought to
Boom.
put some money towards get somebody in with the right equipment to get it cut down. We don't have the equipment, so we ain't going to get rid of that. I mean, we did a pretty good job with
But if you catch it early in the spring,
huh?
if you catch it early in the spring and spray that stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll keep it down. It's encroaching. You talk about, you think you had trouble with the bar fire? Wait till that stuff takes off.
I know.
You're going to wish to God you had some goddamn fire lines. But anyways, you have all the information. And like I said, I spent 3 days trying to provide you with some knowledge.
Well, I won't tell you how many days I spent on projects, painting this building with Mike and everything else.
Oh, I know. But I mean, it's just knowledge that I wanted you guys to know.
Well, I'm glad you did. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Larry.
I'm glad we let you finish it here now. This was a good time to do it, right?
Well, yeah, it didn't make no sense for me to interrupt the proceedings. You guys had a format that you were following too, and all I would have done was piss people off. So why bother do that? Wait till it's all over with, and then try and discuss it with you guys.
Want me to keep it?
Yes.
So that's
It's your
the information,
territory.
that's all the information you got.
That cheatgrass is particularly over at Tiffany Lane or whatever that thing is.
There's some more of it.
No. I want to get a chance to look at that later too.
Okay, I have it. It's in my city packet.
There's
Good points.
yeah. That's it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, bud. There's no more business.
I'm glad we did that. Thanks for allowing that.
Well, you brought it. Since you voted yes, you could bring it back up.
Right.
One person can.
One council member can ask it for
I wasn't
reconsideration.
sure we had to vote on it.
No, just one person can bring it up
Could bring it up.
for reconsideration.
Well, good. That makes a lot of sense.
Not
We
required.
got
I'll come down tomorrow.
so much crap.
I'll come down tomorrow. It's right here.
This new law,
I will give you that file. You can send it. You can send it to them, or you.
we're done for that, right?
We're done.
See, I sent it to you.
Well, we could probably say
Remember the
Larry
Google
might
Drive thing I was telling
just
you
let him
about?
do his fast
That's
track.
why. That's how I sent it.
What's he need
I tried to open
on
that, it wasn't
Two.
able to.
Larry Adams with it. Other than,
Apologize, I didn't tell you.
If he ever sells it, then he
One
needs
thing
it.
this week,
And
it's
it's got,
rapid
you gotta make
Regardless
it.
what he does, he can build the site.
Apologize, I presented it because I knew you had done a lot of
And
work.
they've got the legal plat. It'll
Shouldn't have
show
forgotten
the
to
street.
meetings.
But he's gonna have to come measure
Well,
from
I
Larry.
just wanted
Larry's got a
to do
one
it
in his
every day.
backyard. Mine's, I can find one on my gravel. I just gotta start raking gravel and find one. But I have, it's 157 feet across. And when you go
Well,
around the marker between Larry and I.
Mr. Sheridan,
I can even go to that.
So are you interested in the crime watch?
Yeah, I had it in my card, and I think it's a good thing
Well,
that
just
the city knows.
stuff you just say, that's what it's been done, if you just do it.
Well, you did, somebody's doing a good job. And I got your information on the insurance stuff. So I think
You know, if my hip and
good
shoulder
at
back
very
at
much
the
information
I
grass.
requested that stuff.
Yeah, well, I think
And you know, when you guys do one meeting here and next month, you're going off.
You can't run that short on that.
I don't remember from when. So, with me being able to do
Sometimes I don't think my
that,
ability's there, but.
and let's do it all in one shot.
I'll run get my key to Granny's and I'll
Yeah.
get you the
I'll
library.
meet you at the library. I gotta go home and get the keys to the library.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
yeah, and I'll pick up Anita's stuff and put it in my
That's
Ranger.
the reason.
So I'll bring her stuff to her tomorrow too.
And my question for you,
Yeah.
Give me a call and
have them,
I'll meet you down there.
get the
Even if I gotta go
correspondence
I'll do that tomorrow.
on Friday, and then set up, and I I know.
So is it
Um,
just
I can send it to you.
I rented a
Is he
few
just
times
pushing the
down
buttons?
one of those.
It's in my hand.
It was one of the ones they used, and so people that took it, they picked it all up. So you might find cable
He thinks
services
he's
that
got
need to
something
be
on there,
cleaned
but
because
He's
mine
really
was
out
out
there.
there, loving
Quite,
that. And we're gonna be in there,
You know, this
morning.
long-
Yeah, but all the
the other guys
Big
with
one.
Put it in all the votes.
Oh, microwave.
Nobody made
And I
microwave
put
subjects.
And I also don't want to
City Council.
All
It
the-
should be.
You put all the road comment stuff all together and then all the other.
That's an hour. And then I took,
Oh, can I take one of
But
these?
we had a
Oh,
meeting with him.
today.
Okay.
They said it could have said
And
it,
he said he's the
I don't wanna
only
hear
part of the team.
but it's pretty much, I guess,
I got other things to
it's
do.
just that, yeah, that
We gotta
conference.
buy and sell my hotel and
Yeah,
get out
sorry,
of
it's
this
all my
town.
heart.
Ask me, it's so pleasant voice.
Oh,
Thank you,
ooh.
my friend. Zucchini?
That's banana with coconut. This is
Oh.
zucchini.
Oh.
I know, this is applesauce.
Applesauce, yeah.
Applesauce.
Oh, but coconut.
This is good.
And yeah, Mike's aunt makes it, and I got the recipe
I'll
from
take
her.
the red book in.
And she
Yeah?
puts raisins in, and I don't like raisins, so you guys get raisins.
Oh.
Raisins I like.
Those are great. Thank you, Catherine.
Yep. Okay, I'm out of here. 'cause I
I'm
gotta
glad we
get
did
going.
that. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Larry.
Larry.
yep,
Don't get mad. I wanted Bill to do it. Bill, and I'm sorry about your tenants, but I'm worried about kids getting hit.
So, when that happened,
What?
you just blocked off my street?
I did. I walked the parking and you can tell them I did it. I see kids out there all the time in front of cars. And the way Main Street comes
it's
down
horrible.
and does that job there, we're gonna be picking a kid up off the street.
Well, I know, I told them that, but you know what they do to solve the problem? They go buy another car.
Well, I don't
Go buy
know.
another one.
No.
Okay, I'll buy another one this week. We have what one for a
There's
week?
two of them, and no owners, and they both run, and they're sitting there.
yeah, I heard you over at the post office earlier.
Yeah, I gotta go meet Joanne at the library, guys, so I'm gonna.
I was so happy they moved the RV and she said, no, it's in the yard. I said, what?
10 o'clock last night, took them a half an hour to back it in. Why would you wait till dark if you're not sure?
Well, they
you're
went
backing
to
it
town
in?
to get a ball for it. They
I
had
was
the
waiting
wrong
to see
ball
if they
and the
knocked-
wrong size.
I
So
was
they called me
waiting to
at
see-
about 8 o'clock and I said, why ain't it moved?
I was
Now,
waiting to
where
see
is
if they
it?
knocked down any overhang.
Oh, I hope so. What the hell?
So it's in the yard now?
It's
Yes.
parked in their driveway.
Their driveway.
So it's not that they don't have enough stuff in that carport to squeeze in a little
I
more.
can't complain because Brian parked his in my yard for how long?
Yeah.
Hey, no, really, thanks for putting up with me tonight.